back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever do it again.
Have one very strong witness who has explained how it all works.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
That's when they came in the back door with all the mail-in ballots.
Inconceivable.
Or a thumb drive stuck in it or whatever.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
You're listening to the Thinking Hardly podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be like, just before the next one, huh?
Yep. This is we're down to the last week now. So there you go. How's everybody doing there?
Doing good. Thank you.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. How's Danica?
She's doing good. We haven't been able to hang out as much just this last week, kind of as things get a little more hectic. But yeah, she's doing pretty good, I think.
All right. Still healthy?
Yeah.
Good. How are the pets? How are the cats?
They're hanging in there. They're loving it.
Doing good.
Yeah. Good. This lockdown thing or whatever, work from home has been good for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. All right. Shall we dive into it?
Absolutely.
I got a whole long list of things here. You guys can just jump in when something tickles your fancy. These are in no particular order. They're just as I wrote them down. So one thing is that Barr resigned. Did you read his?
Yeah, that's right.
Did you read his letter?
Yeah, it was very tactful.
Tactful is.
Just had to make sure to, really say some nice things in that second paragraph.
Oh my gosh! So the first paragraph was like as close as he got to. Here, let me just read it to you. I appreciate the opportunity to update you this afternoon on the department's review of voter fraud allegations in the 2020 election and how these allegations will continue to be pursued. At a time when the country is so deeply divided, it's incumbent on all levels of government and on all agencies acting within their purview to do all we can to assure the integrity of elections and promote public confidence in their outcome. That was as close as he got to whatever they really talked about, which was probably, sorry, boss, but there's nothing here. And then he had like several paragraphs where he lists all this stuff, trying to make Trump happy. And then he just closes with, as discussed, I'll spend the next week wrapping up a few remaining matters important to the administration and depart on December 23rd. He's saying, I just need a few days to put all my stuff in my boxes and then I'm out of here.
Yeah. Man, it is pretty crazy just seeing everything kind of unfold here. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. It seems like now is finally the time that, I don't know. It's interesting to finally see people kind of packing it in with this.
It's just so weird, though, right? Because normally this is the kind of stuff that would happen if a candidate if a president had been reelected, right? You'd like shuffle things and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's only like weeks from now. I'm not sure why.
Well, I think the people that are leaving are probably insulating themselves against anything that does happen if Trump does do anything weird or bad, like I think people like this who have taken a little more center road of like, well, yeah, I believe in your stuff, but well, you just lost this one. Like those people, I think, are scared of being associated with anything, bad that happens from now on. Like everything, I think we've normalized things enough that anything else they did is like, no one's even talking about questioning it. But this would be a big thing if, like if he actually tried to do something and they were still there, it would put them on the hook for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think this is a real resignation? You don't think that this was just like Trump was saying, you got to go?
I mean, it could be that too. I know Trump's been doing a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah. It is weird. He's been doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And like I said, the timing is very strange, right?
Yeah,
normally you do this if you want, and maybe he really thinks he's, I don't know, maybe he wants to act like he wants. I don't know. It's just, there are people who've jumped ship and have come out probably, like Rick Perry. He left, didn't he?
I have no idea.
I think so. Let me look.
That's a good question, though. What was he, the energy secretary? Is that
exactly?
Yeah, that's right.
Was that after? Who was the? I'm blanking on his name. He was Exxon executive?
No, that was Secretary of State.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, he was right. I think that's right. He was the guy.
I think that is right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he left office December 1st last year.
Smart move, man. I mean, that's like forever ago, right? It's
Yeah,
before
that
all
is.
of this
Yeah. Wow.
And you guys know Gottlieb, Scott Gottlieb. He was the FDA commissioner, and he I don't know when he left. Same sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out smelling, pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so there's Bill Barr. Bye, Bill Barr. Okay, I'm going to dive a little bit into COVID-19 because we're into this. Gina's an epidemiologist, and I used to work in healthcare, and so bear with me. So there's a couple different stories here. One of them is that Health and Human Services, there's this delay in starting the coronavirus vaccination for people in nursing homes. So the officials at CVS and Walgreens, who have the government contract to vaccinate the nursing home patients, last week they reported, or maybe it's this week, reported that they'd been told to hold off on vaccinations until the week of December 21st. So by the time people are listening to this, that'll be this week, right? So Monday is the 21st. So they started vaccinating this past week, like maybe the 15th, 16th, something like that. And these two pharmacy companies, CVS and Walgreens, were told to hold off until the 21st. Okay, so Alex Azar, who's the head of Health and Human Services, was on Face the Nation last Sunday, and Margaret Brennan, who's a very tough, sort of interviewer, she asked him why CVS had been told to hold off vaccinating until the 21st of December, and listen to what Azar had to say.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you specifically about something CVS revealed. They said they're not going to start vaccinating, even though they're receiving it this month, until December 21st, because the Trump administration told them to wait until that date. Why is the Trump administration asking nursing homes to wait?
Okay. Now, I forgot to tell you, the reason this is such a big deal is that about a quarter of the people who are dying each week are people in nursing homes. So it's actually a really big deal, to try to get these folks in the nursing homes vaccinated as quickly as possible. So she wants to know, why did you tell them to wait till the 21st? Here's what he says.
Yeah, no, we're not actually asking the nursing homes to wait. And we were able to have a really good discussion with CVS leadership about this misunderstanding that they had at the President's Vaccine Distribution Summit. So I think we've gotten that all straightened out with them. And we'll be getting CVS and Walgreens vaccinating our nursing home people. Almost 100% of our nursing homes have signed up with that program for a turnkey vaccination operation. And you know what's amazing?
Well, when will that start then?
Well, it can start really any day. The vaccines are going out as soon as they receive vaccine. This is according to the governors telling us to ship to them. We could have every nursing home patient vaccinated in the United States by Christmas. It's really a remarkable prospect for all of us who have loved ones in nursing homes that we may approach Christmas with that level of comfort that our loved ones have gotten some initial protection already.
Okay, so she says CVS and Walgreens are saying hold off, and they're saying they were told to hold off to the 21st. He said, no, it's all been a big misunderstanding. We got all squared away. We had a meeting. We talked to them. They misunderstood. Okay, so then she interviews this guy from, excuse me, Robert Garrett, who's the CEO of Meridian Healthcare, which has hospital systems, but they also have nursing homes. This is what he said.
CVS says they were told not to begin vaccination until December 21st, even though they received the vaccine before that. The Health and Human Services Secretary told us that was all a big misunderstanding. What is the plan at your facilities? What is CVS telling you?
CVS is telling us, and this is the latest information as of this morning, is that they will start to vaccinate our long-term care residents the week of December 21st.
Okay.
So that's the latest information I have. I did hear the Secretary's interview, but the latest information I have from CVS and Walgreens is that they would start on the week of the 21st.
Okay.
Dirty
All right,
bird.
so poor guy's like in the middle. He doesn't I don't know. I mean, we just listen to it. So, okay. Then they have Scott Gottlieb on. He's on every week. This guy's got his hair greased back. I mean, he looks like an old time East Coast, guy. And so she's like trying to get to the bottom of this, which is what I love about Margaret Brennan. Okay. So she grills Gottlieb like, what the hell is going on?
You heard Mr. Garrett say there that the nursing homes he operates have been told by CVS that they can't begin vaccinations until December 21st. CVS says that's also what they were told by the Trump administration. Health and Human Services Secretary says they're wrong. Does it make any sense to you as to why they would be asked to delay vaccinating the most vulnerable?
Well, the current guidance by CDC to the two pharmacies that are going to be going into the nursing homes, Walgreens and CVS, is that they can't begin until 12/21, giving those vaccinations. They're going to spend this week getting the consent. So it's possible that they try to get into some nursing homes this week. But the bulk of those vaccinations right now, according to the CDC guidance to the states and the pharmacies, is they can't begin until 12/21. They'll work through getting the consents in place from the individual patients and their family members this week. Those weren't put in place in advance. Once they start, they're going to start with the skilled nursing facilities first, but it's going to take them 3 weeks to work through all the pharmacies. They'll get the SNFs done, the skilled nursing facilities, which are the highest acuity, probably in the first week, but it'll take 3 weeks total to get through those nursing homes. There's about 45,000 in the country, so this is a big undertaking.
So did you catch that? There's like two things. One is it's the CDC that's providing this guidance. Guess who the CDC reports up to?
Yeah, okay.
Alex Azar. The second thing he said, the problem is they didn't get consents in advance from the nursing home patients, which is quite difficult because a lot of these people probably have, powers of attorney or living, whatever it is, they can't consent. In other words, they're not, capable of consenting. So this all could have been done in advance. I mean, this is the part of Operation Warp Speed that didn't make any sense to me. Like this should have all been, I don't know. This should have all been figured out. I don't know. All right. So there's something. So that's really bad. I mean, because it's probably. So let's say it's a week delay, right? He says it's going to take 3 weeks. Azar says it's going to take 3 days, right? They're going to start on the 21st and it's going to be done by Christmas. Gottlieb says it's going to take at least 3 weeks to get it done. So that's just completely wrong. But let's just say it's a week. Let's just say they're slowed down by a week because that's how long it's going to take them to get to consent. There's about 20,000 people dying each week, and about a quarter of them are in nursing homes. So that's 5,000 people dead because somebody didn't think to get the consents in advance. All right. So Right. Any thoughts about that?
It's just hard to imagine, this being handled worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Yeah. I think this is your thing, Bob. You've brought this up several times. I mean, I joked one time that, that they're hiring people out of Fiverr to do this stuff. And you're like, no, I don't mean that. But it's like the first, second, and third string. They're like the people are gone or something.
Well, that's sort of true too. But I mean, I think, I don't know. I just think that, like, this is the kind of thing where there's no incentive for these, like, people a couple steps down the line. Like, I don't know. Are they really going to get credit if they do this better? Like, maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like 5,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, it's.
No, I guess that's what you're saying. You're not saying that it's. I mean, you're not
I'm
saying
not even.
that it
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm
matter.
saying that, like, from their perspective, it's like, well, Trump's not going to care if you do that well. The people that, like, I don't think the media is going to give you, like, if you're like a Trump person that's like pro-Trump and you do a good job with that, like, I don't think the media is going to give you credit for it.
I don't think Trump's paying attention. I mean, do you think it's possible that Trump actually thinks it's better if things kind of go crappy? I mean, the election's over and,
I just don't think he's focused on it at all.
Definitely not focused on it. That's for sure. I mean, if he is, he's a master, a master actor, because it sure doesn't look like he's. All right. Well, there's something weird about Alex Azar. I haven't quite figured it out. I mean, he's I don't know. He's got something. It reminds me a little bit of George W. Bush, just in the way he talks. But there's something else going on. So CNBC interviewed him. There's like a couple of people I'm going to pick on today. CNBC interviewed him. This is a financial, like show or something. I don't even remember who the interviewer is. So she's talking to him, and there's something weird going on between Pfizer and Azar, or between Pfizer and the Trump administration. I can't get to the bottom of it, but I would bet if we, wait a couple of months or a year, whatever, there'll be something blows the lid off. Just listen to this.
I think the question that all Americans are asking now is, how quickly will this get to me? It's great news that we have 200 million doses lined up from Moderna. We've got this 100 million doses from Pfizer. I guess there's still questions about what's happening with that. Have you signed the contract for a second batch of doses from Pfizer?
Okay, so she's asking this because it came out that as late as October, after the results of the Pfizer vaccine were out and they knew that it was like 95% effective, Pfizer came back to the Trump administration and said, listen, we'll give you first shot another 100 million before we go outside of the country. And they said, no, we're not interested. Okay, so this is a little bit like, Now, at the time, who knows? Maybe it did, but actually it did know, because it was after the results came out. Okay, so she said, what's the deal? And here's his answer. Here we go.
I think the question that all Americans are asking now is, how quickly will this get to me? It's great news that you have 200 million doses lined up from Moderna. We've got this 100 million doses from Pfizer. I guess there's still questions about what's happening with that. Have you signed the contract for a second batch of doses from Pfizer?
Well, I do wish we would stop just talking about this Pfizer thing. We've got 100 million from Pfizer through March 31st, about 20 million a month. We've got the Moderna 100 million. We've got a second quarter of Moderna. We're actually enhancing Moderna's production capabilities to produce even more. And we're working with Pfizer. And I think we're very optimistic that we'll secure additional quantities in the second quarter. But they're going to need help from us on their manufacturing. As you know, they had originally committed that they could produce publicly 100 million doses by the end of this year. They had to cut that in half to 50 million. The U.S. is getting its share, and we're obviously distributing their vaccine. But we're having constructive discussions with them and seeing where we can get to on that. But remember, we now have commitments for 900 million doses of vaccine. We have options to take us up to 3 billion doses of vaccine. And we're looking at J&J and AstraZeneca possibly having data early January.
Sure, but Pfizer is the only one that to date has received the emergency use authorization. I think.
Okay, so at the time that was true. The FDA today approved Moderna, but at the time this interview was done, this was true. So basically, he's saying, they got these production problems and so on. So let's listen, keep going.
That's why people are so focused on that. I mean, if they have the ability to get us more doses in the second quarter, you would think that would be a high priority.
It is a high priority. We want to add to our arsenal on our portfolio, but we've actually got a lot of vaccine coming, and there's none of this changes the proximate immediate term of what Pfizer can deliver out of their manufacturing. We're maximizing that. We'll help them obviously get higher yields if they're willing to take our help. But this is all second quarter at this point that we're talking about. Okay,
so he's twice now said that the problem is Pfizer has a production issue, and they're quite willing. The government is willing to help if Pfizer wants them to help. Okay.
Right.
What do you mean willing to take your help? I thought HHS was already determining under Operation Warp Speed which companies would be getting access to some of the critical components of these vaccines.
You see, Pfizer's got a different relationship with us. They're part of Operation Warp Speed. We have a $2 billion commitment for those first 100 million doses, but they've kept things more arm's length at their insistence throughout. So we contract with a guaranteed purchase,
so but
we
don't. Warp Speed.
But, I'm sorry?
So they're not Operation Warp Speed?
They are part of Operation Warp Speed, but Becky, it's a different relationship. We contract a guaranteed purchase that allows them to make capital investments, have a predictable purchaser, but we don't have complete visibility into their manufacturing because they've kept that a bit more arm's length. Now, I'd like.
So Bob, is she your girlfriend, or is she not? Well, she's a girlfriend, but we have a different relationship. It's arm's length. It's just
See, that changed. I'd like to have more visibility into that, and we are willing to provide every tool the U.S. government has to assist them in maximizing their yields, increasing production capacity.
Okay, so enough of him. So here's what Pfizer says after this whole thing. They issued a statement saying, quote, "The company is not having any production issues with our COVID-19 vaccine, and no shipments containing the vaccine are on hold or delayed." They have millions of doses, I think millions of doses sitting, waiting to be shipped. They're just waiting for the government to tell them where to ship them.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So there's something weird going on between Azar and I have no idea. Anyways, any thoughts about that?
I wonder what level of staffing DC is at.
You mean just worker bees?
Yeah, these are the kind of issues that remind me of the supply chain issues at work.
Yeah.
Where you could solve them if you had more people.
Yeah. I mean, do you mean just trying to figure out where stuff is or what the problems are?
Well, yeah. And I mean, stuff that's delayed because it's I would expect that a lot of this kind of stuff is delayed because it's waiting. Someone has to do something to get it moving to the next step.
I think that's right. I mean, I don't think this is not meant that kind of wrinkle and hiccup. I mean, this is a massive undertaking, hasn't been done before. I don't think that wrinkles and hiccups and these sorts of fits and starts, especially at the beginning, are necessarily reflect badly. That's not that. I think you're right about that. I just don't get. There's something. It just seems fishy to me. Like he's treating them as he's basically saying they're not telling us everything. We want to help. They don't want our help. And Pfizer's saying, well, we got vaccine sitting here. That's not the problem. You would think that at some level there would at least be some agreement on the nature of the problem. He's saying it's a production issue, and they're saying they're waiting to be told where to ship it. Those are two totally.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah. That's what makes me think of stuff like this, where it's a production and logistics thing, where they may think that both of them may think that on the other one because they don't have perfect communication, and one of the reasons for that is because everyone's too busy running around all day because they have to do other stuff to keep stuff moving.
Yeah. Well, get your KN95 out because I'm sending you to DC.
Pass.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I'm here from the Thinking Hardly podcast. And I'm here to help. All right. Anything else? How about the cyber attack, the Russian cyber attack? Have you guys read much about this?
I saw that headline. I didn't read into it. What was this last night or something?
No, it's just like it. There's like it's coming out in dribs and drabs, and it gets, of course, when it does that, it's just the news doesn't get better; it gets worse. Apparently, it's more than one. It's the first thing is there's this malware that's sort of what would you say contaminated? What's it called? Contaminated? No, infested. I don't know. Yeah, it's been so. There's this software supplied by a company called SolarWinds in Austin, and it's server software, right? So it's all over the place, and multiple U.S. government agencies and thousands of firms have been compromised by this malware. But now they're saying it's actually more than just that. It's been like these repeated attempts successfully to breach, software. In fact, one congressman said he compared this attack to Pearl Harbor, basically. Like this was an act of, he's saying it could be an act of war. Like there's very strict definitions of when a cyber attack is an act of war.
Right.
So
who said that?
Pardon me?
Well, who said that?
They're trying to figure out. That's what they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out what the facts are and whether the facts meet these definitions. There's sort of two definitions. I can't remember. One's a computer systems attack, and the other is a cyber attack. And they kind of overlap, but they're slightly different. So there's some question about.
Congressman said that?
Sorry.
You said a congressman compared it to Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. Do you know from Colorado? Sorry.
Do you know who it was?
Guy from Colorado.
Guy from Colorado. Okay.
Yeah, congressman from Colorado, Democrat, I believe. So here's what this is CNN's take on it. I'll just read a little bit of it, and then we can move on. There's certainly more fun stuff than this. This is just a little, this is the kind of stuff that I was worried about when the pandemic started. And my thinking was the pandemic is going to take a ton of work. It's going to take a ton of attention, lots of coordination, lots of eyeballs, and it's it's really hurting the country. And my concern was, if something else happens, we're going to be really stretched then. Yeah. And it could be a problem. Now, I wasn't predicting this. It's just, when one major thing happens and another big thing happens, it's, people's hair is on fire. Okay, so here's CNN. CISA has determined, that's the, what I forgot what it's called, CISA, the Center for Infrastructure Security or something or other, right? Gotcha. This is the guy who stepped down. Cybersecurity, basically, has determined that this threat poses a grave risk to the federal government and state, local, tribal, and territorial governments, as well as critical infrastructure entities and other private sector organizations. CISA expects that removing this threat actor from compromised environments will be highly complex and challenging for organizations.
Wow.
The agency also acknowledged on Tuesday that the hackers used tactics, techniques, procedures that have not yet been discovered, adding that it is continuing to investigate whether, how other intrusion methods may have been used since the campaign began months ago. This started in March. Okay. Hours after the CISA alert was released, the U.S. Department of Energy said it had evidence that hackers accessed some of its networks using the same malware associated with the ongoing data breach, already impacting almost a half a dozen other federal agencies. The department maintains the impact has been isolated to business networks and has not impacted the mission-essential national security functions of the department, including the National Nuclear Security Administration, which oversees the nation's stockpile of nuclear weapons.
Oof.
I mean, the fact that they're saying it didn't impact, it makes me even more nervous.
Yeah.
So I don't know enough about this, but apparently it's not like you can just turn off something and unplug a card and stick a new card in. It's apparently that's what they were saying. This is going to take a long time to
kind of like untangling things.
Yeah, that's pretty frightening.
Yeah, no kidding. Did it say exactly which agencies were impacted by this?
Well, the list has gotten longer. You can look it up. At first, it was like Treasury and Commerce, and then it's like Treasury, Commerce, DOE. It's like almost all of them, it seems like. Yeah. and then a bunch of private industries as well. And the guy on sorry, I didn't write his name down. The guy on that said, this is kind of like the Pearl Harbor level attack, suggested that there's been some compromise of the financial institutions. You could imagine financial banking institutions, energy, I don't know, water supplies,
Man, this is another thing like the corona virus, where it's just like a bunch of stuff that most people don't understand, and so you're just kind of sitting there like, oh wow, that sounds bad, whoa. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to solve this.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's like an episode of 24.
Yeah, that's very true.
It just seems like an awful lot.
Yeah.
I mean, so
you said they're thinking this is like Russia state actors?
Pretty sure that it's Russia. That's what they're saying. Is all the hallmarks of it. And Pompeo originally said, probably more like China, even though all the intelligence people were saying,
right,
and the cyber people were saying, no, it's Russia. So he came out, I think yesterday, saying, yeah, it looks like it's Russia.
Huh. Man,
how far do you think they'd go? How far would Russia go?
I don't know what you can really do other than spying and everything. I don't. I just don't know enough about what you can do with a malware kind of setup like that. That's not necessarily the same as other stuff we're familiar with.
Well, suppose you couldn't pay anything. You couldn't pay any bills. You couldn't move money around.
Let's
just say they shut that down for a week and a half. You couldn't do anything. Couldn't get to money. Couldn't buy stuff. Couldn't,
Yeah, man.
What would happen?
That is crazy. And if it is something that is just kind of everybody's just kind of trying to figure out how to get this, disentangled from all the computers or, just the network. I really don't. This is, again, one of those things where it's I don't know enough about this kind of thing to really know the kind of real possibilities and the ins and outs of preventing certain things from happening. But it's pretty crazy to realize that this is just going to be the reality in the future more and more.
Suppose you couldn't figure out where to send the vaccine or who'd been vaccinated.
Yeah, just changing information or obfuscating it, whatever.
I don't know.
Man,
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm just kind of trying to think of all the possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, I really don't know. Because like you're saying, it's not like you can just kind of get new stuff and then the problem's all gone.
Apparently
it's
not.
Server stuff, right?
Yeah, apparently not.
So,
how far do you think, Bobby, Russia would go? Let's suppose we know it's Russia. It is Russia.
Oh, he just stepped away for a second.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He got bored with the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. No, he just go to the bathroom. But, I think that's totally, I think that's totally possible. I think that this is the kind of thing, I don't know, for them to go so far as to do things like that, where it's sabotaging the vaccine kind of distribution and everything like that. I think that's a bit far. I think kind of just the spying stuff is the stuff that we kind of, that's where we're at. And in our relationship, there's a lot of, I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's too much harsh or strong kind of answers to just spying. I think it's just something that we accept happens both ways.
Yeah.
Because, starting any more serious kind of conflict is so risky. And so, it's just a big commitment. So I don't know. I really don't, I would be surprised if anything super direct happens in that regard, but definitely possible.
We were at Bobby. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
I was asking how far do you think Russia would go? I mean, they could screw up the financial system. They could screw up the systems for keeping track of who got vaccine and who didn't get vaccine or where the vaccine is being shipped. I mean, you could like almost everything now is,
Yeah, impacted by that.
Is digital. So, I mean, how far do you think, and let's suppose it's them and we know it's them. They know that we know it's them. How far do you think Russia would go? They've got maybe have some weeks or months or something like that to do whatever they're going to do before all the stuff gets disentangled or their capabilities get limited.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know how to answer that question. It's like I don't think it's that's not an action of like, oh, we're trying to go to war with the U.S. Like,
yeah,
no, they want us weaker.
My react. So now I'm slowly learning. I'm super old and I'm slowly learning. I'm examining my reaction and thinking that my reaction is maybe like what they're looking for, whoever they is. So in this case, I'm just wondering. So my reaction in this is, I just want a government that's competent.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I definitely want a government that has certain values, that expresses values or implements policy that's aligned with my values or whatever. But primarily, and I maybe even feel as passionate about this, is it should just be a government that does its friggin' job. All of this farting around, trying to help people survive on the pandemic. I mean, it's been going on it just is like, just do your jobs. I mean, you can save the bickering for later, but people can't pay their rent. They can't buy food. They're going to be kicked out of their house, and you guys are dicking around. I mean, so I'm wondering maybe that's all they need. Maybe just the fact that they could break in and be there for months and us not know about it is enough for people to say, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, well, it's part of it. I think
it's disturbing, right? I mean, it makes you question how secure things are, which is exactly what happened with the pandemic. It makes you question how secure things are. And it definitely creates more grist for the conspiracy mill.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just one of those things that, like, I don't know, like, we could have actual secure kind of stuff. And if it is, I like all this hacking stuff is always like, there's going to be advancements that, like, they're saying that they don't understand how, like, this is obfuscated, how the information is obfuscated and everything like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they really understand exactly. I mean, I think they're saying it's still, like, things are unfolding. They're starting to understand exactly what's happened, and it's going to take a long time to even understand what's been done.
Yeah. So that thing,
how to fix it.
I don't know if you can really, truly, I don't know. That specifically is one of the things where it's like, I don't know if you can, I don't know how good we could be against that, because it is like code cracking and everything like that is,
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, maybe this would have happened no matter what. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just beside the point. Like hopefully everyone is sufficiently fed up with this by now. I mean, 9 months after this and still kind of debating whether to send people $1,200.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess. I mean, now it sees like anything that will just piss some people off is good enough to, like, throw America into a tizzy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all they needed to do.
Yeah, I guess. It's definitely in a state where it's like, you don't have to do much to set stuff off. Like, I guess.
All right. Well, we need something lighter. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. You ready? It's a true story.
I'm ready.
Okay. This is a while ago. This is back in October, I think, before the election. Okay. But this guy's just been. Here's the story. Ex-Houston Police Department Captain Mark Anthony Aguirre was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 20 years in prison. According to court documents, Aguirre told police he was part of a group of private citizens called the Liberty Center. I think it's actually Liberty Center for God and Country, who were conducting a civilian investigation into an alleged ballot scheme. Okay, you got that? Ex-cop.
Right.
He's been hired by this Liberty Center. Civilian investigation into a ballot scheme, okay, in Texas. Aguirre told the police officers that he'd been conducting surveillance for 4 days on David Lopez Zuniga because he thought the air conditioner repairman was somehow a mastermind of a giant voter fraud scheme. Aguirre told authorities that the man was hiding 750,000 fraudulent ballots in a truck he was driving. On October 19th, Aguirre allegedly ran his SUV into the back of the truck to get Zuniga to stop and get out. Okay, so this Aguirre, this ex-cop, slams his SUV into the back of the truck to get this guy's attention. He pulls over, he gets out. When Zuniga gets out of the truck, Aguirre points a handgun at him, forcing him to the ground, and puts his knee on his back until the police come, the court document said. At the time of the alleged crime, Aguirre was working as a contract investigator for conservative activist Stephen Hotsey. Hotsey made a name for himself for alleging widespread voter fraud in Harris County, even when none had been found. This fall, Hotsey funded the Liberty Center to hire around 20 private investigators, and other workers to investigate incidents of alleged fraud. Here's the quote. "We paid our investigators close to $300,000, said Hotsey during an hour-long news conference on Wednesday. When asked about Aguirre's alleged actions, Hotsey said the criminal charges are trumped up. If they said he had a gun, why didn't they take his gun away? Something smells here. I don't know anybody who pulled a gun on anybody. That's the first time I ever heard that. Obviously, we wouldn't condone that. Nobody would," Hotsey said. Okay? So that leaves us with this question. Would Hotsey condone pulling a gun on somebody? And the only way to really know, is to get to know Hotsey a little better. So we sent out our robots, okay? This is our new segment. It's called Getting to Know You. Getting to Know You, okay? Right. We did this last week. So sit back, let's and just relax, and let's get to know the man behind the man, the physician who funded the ex-Popo captain, that did this investigation into Texas voter fraud, a man named Stephen Holtz. Listen up.
Stephen Hotsey is a conservative radio host, physician, and Republican activist in Texas. Dr. Hotsey has been a practicing physician since at least 2000 and currently runs the Hotsey Health and Wellness Center in Katy, Texas.
Nice.
A strong, social conservative, Hotsey advocated for greater influence of Christianity on government. As an example of how this should work, Dr. Hotsey cited laws against drunk driving.
Right.
Later, the good doctor was arrested and charged for driving under the influence of alcohol after running a police vehicle off the road in the middle of the night. Hotsey also has very strong feelings about other people's business, especially their sexual orientation. Hotsey has opposed homosexuality since at least 1986, once comparing LGBT people to Nazis and pledging to drive, quote, homo-fascists from Houston to San Francisco. I suspect he didn't mean offering them a ride halfway across the country. After the U.S. Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage in all 50 states, Hotsey spoke at the kickoff for the anti-gay marriage organization, Real Marriage for Life. Here's what he said of proponents of same-sex marriage.
They want to intimidate individuals, churches, schools, and families to celebrate those that participate in anal sex. That's what they love and enjoy. Anal sex. And that's bad. That's evil. It's a terrible thing to try to do. And they want to try to teach it to kids in schools. Kids will be encouraged to practice sodomy in kindergarten.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of thinking about anal sex. But being fixated on that place, where the sun never shines, doesn't mean someone would condone a washed-up ex-cop crashing his car into an air conditioner repairman's truck in hopes of finding 750,000 fraudulent ballots, and then holding the repairman at gunpoint. Hatsi also prays, and he's happy to share his prayer life with
That's
others.
nice.
Yeah.
Here's a prayer he suggested that we all pray.
In the powerful name of Jesus, I declare the following, that every lying tongue would be silenced in the battleground states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada. Cast down those who are quick to promote voter fraud. Expose and silence every politician, media personality, or newscaster who bears false witness, utters lies, and operates in deceit about this election fraud. I declare in the mighty name of King Jesus that God would give a dramatic victory to Donald Trump and use him and patriots to indict the treasonous leaders and communist subversives in America and punish them as treason deserves with the death penalty.
Okay, so maybe Hatsi takes this election fraud stuff seriously. But he was only praying, so anything bad that happened to people as a result would pretty much be on God, not Hatsi.
Right.
I can see that, sort of. Then there's this. After protests over the killing of George Floyd reached Texas in early June 2020, the cool-headed Dr. Hatsi called Governor Greg Abbott's office on June 6th and left the following message with Abbott's chief of staff.
I want you to give a message to the governor. I want to make sure that he has National Guard down here and they have the order to shoot to kill. If any of these son of a bitch people start rioting like they have in Dallas, if they start tearing down businesses, shoot to kill the sons of bitches. That's the only way you restore order. Kill them. Thank you.
So, would Dr. Hatsi ever condone pointing a gun at someone he thought might be involved in voter fraud? I'll just let the gentle doctor speak for himself.
That's the only way you restore order. Kill them. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I love
the professional value here.
There you go. I don't know these people.
Getting to know you.
It's so interesting. It takes almost, I could have done this with any of these people. They're crazy. I mean, I don't condone that. And he left. I really wanted to play that. I actually have the voicemail he left for the governor. I mean, that's word for word what he said. Yeah, like these people are nuts. All right. What else? I like it. I like at the end where he says thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Southern hospitality. By the way, so I don't know if you heard it. They mentioned this. He was speaking at this thing. It was all about same-sex marriage is evil or whatever, because it involves that spot, that place. So there's the domain for real marriage for life lapsed, so I bought it. So anyone clicking on the Houston Chronicle article, and that goes to our podcast now. Listen to this. Here's Michael Flynn. This is the guy who almost was, Trump's guy.
I hear some murmurings, about the staff shakeup at the Pentagon. They're putting people in place who might not be opposed to aggressive action.
Might not.
The president does have some options, at least on paper. Can you tell us what those options are and your opinion if he might take any of them?
Well, I don't know if he's going to take any of these options. I mean, the president has to plan for every eventuality because we cannot allow this election and the integrity of our election to go the way it is. I mean, this is just totally unsatisfactory. There's no way in the world that we are going to be able to move forward as a nation with this. So the president has a and I just mentioned one of the options. I mean, he could immediately, on his order, seize every single one of these machines around the country on his order. He could also order within the swing states, if he wanted to, he could take military capabilities and he could place them in those states and basically rerun an election in each of those states.
Hey.
I mean, these people out there talking about martial law, it's like it's something that we've never done. Martial law has been instituted 64 times, Greg. So I'm not calling for that. We have a constitutional process. We clearly have a constitutional process.
Yeah, we do.
I think you highlighted some of that in your previous segment. That has to be followed. But I will tell you that I'm a little concerned about Chief Justice John Roberts at the Supreme Court. I mean, that we can't move around with the fabric of the Constitution of the United States. And I think that right now the Constitution, if the Supreme Court doesn't get involved.
What's he talking about? The fabric of the Constitution? What did you say? The Constitution?
Well, he should talk to Pete. I mean, those two, they love talking about fabric.
Oh, that's true. We're going to bring Pete up in just a second here. Let's let him finish.
In at least making sure
it's
that
not a matter of
the fabric of the Constitution is held together. And all they have to do is look at the evidence. They have to look at the evidence. I'm not certain. In fact, I don't believe that the Supreme Court of the United States has even looked at the merit of any of the cases that have been put forward yet. What they've been looking at is process files, whether somebody crossed the T or dotted it on.
That's what they're looking at.
And that's unsatisfactory.
It's not satisfactory.
To me, that lacks courage. It lacks moral.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Within the justice and frankly.
Okay. Whatever. This guy's nuts.
Yeah.
No, the fabric. Okay. Let's listen to Mayor Pete. There's Mayor Pete. He's been tapped to be the head of Department of Transportation. Right. Here we go.
I've also had a personal love of transportation ever since childhood. More than once, as a college student, I would convince a friend to travel nearly 1,000 miles back to Indiana with me on Amtrak. Though I know that in this administration, I will at best aspire to be the second biggest train enthusiast around.
That's because Biden always.
Yeah. Oh, he likes trains.
Right, yeah.
Change.
I spent a spring break in graduate school aboard a cargo ship studying there. Travel in my mind is synonymous with growth, with adventure, even love, so much so that I proposed to my husband, Chasten, in an airport terminal. So don't let anybody tell me that isn't romantic.
Dude, that sucks. That sucks. Getting proposed to at O'Hare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're Chasten.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, now his husband is, a cabinet level appointee, right?
Yeah.
And now he can say, okay, now let's do it right. I don't want O'Hare, like maybe De Gaulle in Paris or something like that. I don't know. I know, you guys are not big on Pete, at least for a presidential candidate, but as a Secretary of Transportation, I love this guy because he is so friggin' nerdy. I mean, he's just so earnest about all this stuff. I
think he's earnest.
This is what you've got to say when you've got zero experience and, doing transportation.
Yeah,
you know what? I've enjoyed car rides and going to the airport, and
I think he'll manage the crap out of this. I really do. I do think he's very bright, and I think he's a manager. And I think transportation is probably a really good place for him. If he's going to get a cabinet level position, I think transportation is probably really, really good for him.
I'm just a little concerned because he authorized the bulldozing or not bulldozing, but just clearing out of a bunch of homeless people in his city. So it's I don't think this guy's going to be too kind to poor people in terms of transportation.
Yeah, but your argument is
very important thing when it comes to transportation.
Your argument is turning around and biting yourself because only a mayor gets tagged for that, right? So anybody else, it would be somebody else doing it.
So he won't get tagged for it now.
No, I'm saying that anybody else who filled that position, who'd had experience, wouldn't have been a mayor. Right. I'm just saying that being a mayor, you're going to get slapped with a bunch of this stuff. I'm not defending what he did. I think it's a good fit for Pete. Is it the best?
I'm saying that he's got things in his past that clearly say he doesn't care about homeless people, and he's now put in a position where he's head of transportation in the White House. That is,
he cares more about homeless people. He cares more about homeless people than the vice president. I'm not saying.
Is that a bar that we got to clear now? I mean, we're talking about government.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking ill of our government here. I'm sorry.
Let me just tell you again. Maybe this is the Russians that got to me, but what I'd like now is some competence in government. Separate from the policy.
Yeah, things have changed so much in this administration. Yeah. Really, I have confidence in government again.
No, he said competence.
Very competent work that they've been doing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that that's the thing is I don't know that I've seen something that this guy has done.
And the U.S. very, very famous for its transportation infrastructure.
I would say that's
I'm just saying if we're talking about competence in government.
Okay. This one we're gonna put on ice, and we'll just see. Let's just see, right?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he'll surprise us, right?
What's that?
Maybe he'll surprise us, right?
Yeah, maybe he'll surprise you. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? When's the last time somebody did something in transportation, in that department that we know about? I mean, maybe
that's more what I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's only things screw up and then you get in trouble. I don't know. Here's one where we can agree on. I think there's Joe Biden who had the nerve, the courage to go on to Colbert.
We have great confidence in our son.
You're talking about Hunter.
I am not concerned about any accusations been made against him. It's used to get to me. I think it's kind of foul play, but look, it is what it is. And he's a grown man. He is the smartest man I know. I mean, in pure intellectual capacity. And as long as he's good, we're good.
What the heck does that mean? First of all, to say it's foul play, I don't even know what that means. That's like the chicanery, like what a weird
also,
thing.
Having great confidence in him. I mean, there's a lot of things you could say there, but having great confidence in him, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, and then to say if he's good, we're good. Like, that's the question, isn't it? Whether he's good or not.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of the question. I don't know. No, just I mean, I hope that gets looked at or whatever. But as Bobby's pointed out, nothing's going to happen if you're the president, right? Nothing's going to happen to his family.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry we got in a big fight over Mayor Pete. Sounds like you guys are kind of
fight. I think competence in government is, like when you talk about competence in government and their goals are not, aligned with yours, it's like, how good is that?
Well, there are some things I think that are not left or right,
But are they aligned with his goals? I don't know if that's true. A lot of the time. I mean, we'll see what happens, like you say. But
it's the transfer. We don't hear much.
It's a good question. I mean, I get Billy's point now about bulldozing poor people's homes, because that could. I mean, maybe that does happen in Department of Transportation. Probably does. Right.
That's not what I was saying. It's just the transportation. If you're in head of transportation is inherently something that it's important when you're talking about income, because a lot of poor people use public transportation. And so his attitude in his past in dealing with poor people and how he's treated poor people is important and relevant, I think. That's all.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I didn't think about it. I got to start thinking more.
Well, I think it's not even like that as much, too, though. It's like, just think about it from a super simple standpoint.
Yeah,
do we like that guy? The answer's no. You
don't like his policy positions. Is that what you're saying when you say you don't like the guy?
I don't like his policy positions. I don't like his personality, really, because I think he's designed for older people. Like his appeal is entirely toward older people. He's the straight A student. But that's the thing. It's like, I don't think that's necessarily a transferable skill. Like all the stuff that I've heard that proves his competence is mostly things where he's been involved in like the corporate rating type stuff. Like, the McKinsey stuff, the sort of, I don't know, we don't really know which part of the military he was with. So I don't know, man. I just think you can make all kinds of connections from him to like red flags, but I really don't know. Like when people talk about his accomplishments, I really don't know what people are talking about that much.
Yeah, I stand spanked because it's too painful to sit spanked. No, I think you're right. You just said he's designed to appeal to older people. You didn't say me, but you're right. I mean, it comes across as clean cut. It comes across as his faith being important to him. There are a bunch of us older people who are looking for diversity, who are tired of this this pressure from the right, especially the Christian right, the so-called, I don't even mean it's real Christian right, the so-called Christian right, who are completely fixated on sex. I don't know where it comes from. I mean, it's not the Bible. So
no, that's American culture all the way down, man.
Yeah, I mean, so you're right. He hits all these buttons, but if I were to step back into my pragmatic, which is what I say I want, I don't care about principles so much anymore. I mean, I know that you have to be tied to something as a, like a true north that you're aiming for, but I'd like to get some movement. So I'm not trying to move us on here. I mean, I brought us back to this by saying, you guys seem kind of down after a fight or whatever. But I think you're making. You are not. I'm not saying I think you are making points that I didn't think about, and I need to think about them. Yeah,
I think what Pete is a perfect. He gives you all of the signs that you're used to associating with competence.
Yeah, that's it.
I hear you.
He has all of the features of someone who's competent especially in the world that you're familiar with.
Right.
Like he would do great.
The world.
You know?
Oh yeah, he would. Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not sure I deserve to be on this podcast anymore. I mean, I guess I'm your only father, so you're stuck.
Yeah, that gets you a long way.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Let's see. The Royals are getting into podcasting. Did you hear this? Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Hey, that's an easy.
I thought they weren't Royals anymore. Technically.
Okay.
Yeah,
whatever. The ex-Royals. All right. You good point. Actually, you're right. You're right again. Damn, this is a really tough podcast. This episode is.
I love this where they were like, okay, we got to leave the royal family. I want to live a normal life. Something that's not like this. Okay, we are going to be making most of our income on our notoriety and our name recognition, but
kind of can't take that one back.
Yeah.
Here's what they said. This is their quote. This is what made me want to vomit. What we love about podcasting. Okay, so first of all, those first 5 words. I mean, they don't know anything about podcasting, right?
Yeah,
I mean, not like we do. I'm not saying
I was going to say, take it from an expert.
I bet they don't have a quiz show at the end of their thing.
Fucking, you're going to see. You wait. Start their British accent. At least every time I do a Texas accent on the Getting to Know You segment, it's the Brit. That's like I couldn't find one that does a Southern accent. So, all right. So here's what they said. What we love about podcasting is that it reminds us all to take a moment and to really listen, to connect with one another without distraction. With the challenges of 2020, there has never been a more important time to do so, because when we hear each other and hear each other's stories, we're reminded of how interconnected we all are. Wow. That's not what they think. Give me a break. That we're all interconnected. They're going to listen to our stories. They're not doing that.
Well, hey, I mean, that's a big part of what makes podcasts, successful is the little parasocial relationship you get. So it might be a good little start there.
Okay.
Well, just come listen to us, and it's like you're our friends. It's like you're in the room with us.
Yeah, I think that's a nice invitation that you just gave to them. Good point.
I'm just saying that's podcasting. It's like
Meghan, Harry.
It's a little more. I guess there's podcasts that aren't like that, but I think the tendency to be a little more casual kind of invites you in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if Harry's got an issue with his dad, he could definitely listen to this podcast. I'm getting beat up. All right, let's see. Tom Cruise, have you heard this? This whole rant?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Yeah, I did hear it.
Okay, I won't play it unless you want to. Unless you want me to.
I mean, it's a pretty funny rant. I didn't like it as much as the Christian Bale one, but it's pretty good.
Comparisons.
Yeah, here's I'm going to play just a little bit. So I transcribed his rant, and here's Robot Lisa playing the role of Tom Cruise. It's not beeped, so anybody who's listening who doesn't
protect your ears.
The F-bombs, because it's just F-bombs. It's nothing else. There's nothing else. I mean, he's very angry, but the language is the F-bomb. So I'll just play a little. I won't play the whole thing because it goes on and on and on. It's the same stuff over and over.
He really does say everything like 5 times.
Yeah.
They're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. We are creating thousands of jobs, you motherfuckers, because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every fucking studio at night, insurance companies, producers, and they're looking at us and using us to make their movies.
Yeah, right.
We are creating thousands of jobs, you motherfuckers.
No.
I don't ever want to see it again, ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And if I see you doing it again, you're fucking gone.
Oh.
And if anyone on this crew does it, that's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever fucking do it again.
All right.
That's it.
No apologies. No apologies. All right.
Lisa really leans in there.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
I really like that throughout this rant of saying this stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
He always just talks about doing it or not doing it. It's never any kind of specific reference to what happened, or which you'd think would be the case. Do not do this. There's just
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
They got within a meter of each other. You're not supposed to do that.
That was the deal. They were apparently everybody was wearing masks, but they were standing behind a monitor and they were closer than a meter. I mean, maybe you tell me.
It does seem hard to make a movie if you can't have more than one person look at the monitor at one time.
Yeah. Right. I was wondering whether the problem is that it's a meter instead of a yard. I wonder if that was the thing that blew it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Possible.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Well, that's enough of that. That's all I got. Are you guys ready for the? Oh no, I was going to ask you. Do you think you guys will ever have kids?
I have no idea.
I don't mean together. That would be weird.
Yeah, hard. Yeah. It seems a little difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
You don't have to say. I mean, it's a weird thing to be asking on a podcast. I'm your dad. We never talked about this. And
yeah.
All right. So now that I got you on the record.
Exactly. No, the reason I'm saying it is he sounds like a really upset dad. When you're really upset, you are the alpha. No one can tell you to be quiet. You just start it just starts feeding on itself, and you say the same thing over and over and over again, and you're pointing and that's it. That's it. Do you understand? You're gone. I guess you don't say that to your kids, but I mean,
maybe you do.
You're out of here. I don't know.
Get the point across.
I suppose. I don't know. Hopefully, you never experience that. You guys will be better parents than I'll ever been. That's for sure. All right, here we go. You guys ready? The palate cleanser. I really am sore. I got my Pete Butte-judge taken away from me. Darn it. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. You know what that sound means? It's time for Taste Little Gamey, game show portion of our podcast. There we go. Okay.
Really giving time for everybody to go get out on stage.
That's right. Okay, let's see. Who picked last time? Who went first last time? You guys ready for this?
I don't know. I lost last time, though, so you should let me pick.
I've been looking forward all week to this. Okay, Billy. I think, Bobby, you picked the first. I think you're picking the first category this time. Billy and Bobby. I get the official score sheet. Okay. Billy, you don't call, you don't write. Something's missing.
I think it's Bobby picking first.
Oh, Bobby's picking. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. No, Bobby's picking. Correct. Okay. You don't call, you don't write. Something's missing. Hirsutis, Shittite, facial hair are superheroes. Innocent until proven guilty pleasures. Low to mid-brow pop culture. Science fiction. Could be science, could be not. And frame that tune. Music that we play probably illegally.
Right on.
Yeah, leave that in.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's do you don't call, you don't write.
You don't call, you don't write. This week, the thing that's missing are words that begin with the letter B. I'm going to give you 5. You tell me which word that begins with the letter B is missing. Ferris blank's day off.
Bueller.
That's Bueller. Bueller. Okay. Good job. Oh, wait. Sorry. There you go. For that.
Of course. Not for each one, huh?
Hill Street TV show. Cop series. Yep. It's older than you.
Shoot. I'm just going to say blue.
Oh, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Hill Street Blues.
Okay.
Okay. Nicely done. Blank Instinct. Sharon
Basic
Stone.
Instinct. That one's basic.
I think. Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. Good job. 3 for 3. Number 4, Bobby. Invasion of the Blank Snatchers, a horror movie.
That one's Body Snatchers.
Yeah, 4 for 4. Look out, Billy. And Blank in the USA. It's a song by Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
It's also
Born
an
in the
album.
USA. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's incredible. That's 5 for 5. All right.
Very impressive. As it should be.
He's well on his way. Okay, Billy, you got the second list. These are words that begin with the letter B. Big Blank Theory TV show.
Bang.
Bang for 1. Okay. Blank Rhapsody. It's a Queen song. Or a song by Queen. What's that?
Bohemian.
All right, that's 2 for 2. Good job, Billy. Mutiny on the...
Ooh, that's tough.
Humphrey Bogart movie.
Humphrey Bogart movie.
Mm-hmm. A long time ago.
Man, thanks for that one.
You know.
You're screwed here, I think. The next one's just as tough. Mutiny on the... Pick a random word that starts with B. You might be right.
Man, Humphrey Bogart? How old is he?
I was telling Gina how much fun the quiz is because you guys are not super competitive. Nobody ever gets mad. Billy's about to drop the F-bomb.
Meet me on the...
No, mutiny on the...
Mutiny. Maybe that's what you did.
Oh, mutiny. Okay.
Yeah, mutiny.
Mutiny on the... I don't know, bridge.
But hang on to that one. Hang on to that answer. It's the Bounty. Mutiny on the Bounty. Okay.
Everyone's favorite film that they've heard of.
The blank on the River Kwai.
Bridge.
Good job, Billy. 3 for 4. Last one. Police song. Every blank you take.
Breath.
All right.
Okay.
Mutiny on the Bounty.
4 to 5. 5
I'm
to
glad
4.
I didn't get that one.
Bobby's favorite. Bobby's okay. Billy.
A 19 to 35.
Would you like to lodge a complaint with the court? Are you Googling there? Are you like?
I am now.
Okay, you're on Fiverr looking for a new father. All right, Billy. You're typing in your message. I need a father who doesn't give me questions from 1935 and isn't in love with Pete Butte-judge. All right. Billy, your turn to pick. Her suit is too tight. Facial hair of superheroes. Innocent till proven guilty pleasures. Low to mid-brow pop culture. Science fiction could be science, could be not. And frame that tune. Music that we play illegally. But mostly illegally. Karaoke music we play illegally.
Sorry, this is my pick.
Your pick.
Science fiction.
Science friction. Okay. You're not going to like this. Maybe you will. The science fiction novel and movie Dune. Do you know anything about it?
Right. Yeah. Okay. I had a little bit.
You do?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. It's set in the distant future amidst a feudal interstellar society. In the story, the planet Arrakis is an inhospitable and sparsely populated wasteland, but it is the only source of melange, I think is how they said it, a drug that extends life and enhances mental abilities. Melange is also necessary for space navigation, which requires a kind of multidimensional awareness and foresight that only Donald Trump has or the drug provides.
Right.
What is the nickname of melange in the story?
Spice.
Oh.
That's what I know.
Wow. Tied up. 5 apiece. Okay, Bobby, your science friction question. Einstein's most famous equation, at least for people like us, is E equals mc squared. This calculation allows us to, at least theoretically, convert mass to energy and vice versa. The annual U.S. consumption of electricity is 4 trillion kilowatt hours. If you could completely convert water to pure energy, how many gallons would be needed to provide all the electricity for the U.S. for 1 year within a gallon?
Within a gallon?
Within a gallon either way.
Man, he had to know what melange was.
Well, it was from 1935.
Well, that's true.
How many gallons to provide the electricity needs for the United States for 1 year? He got the tougher list of the missing words. It's tied up, Bob.
All right. Well, I don't know that one.
A gallon.
You said more than a gallon? Oh, thank you.
No, I said within a gallon.
Oh, within a gallon.
Either way. Gallon either way. You have a 2-gallon window.
Yeah, 2-gallon window. I'm going to say it's like 300,000 or I don't know, maybe let's say 600,000 gallons. I don't know.
4.2 gallons.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
What are you talking about? I feel like I misunderstood the question now.
If you could take 4.2 gallons of water and convert it to energy, all of the mass gets converted to energy.
I see. Wow.
It would be enough to power the United States.
No, I did.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
That is insane.
This makes me think that advanced civilizations like energy is not an issue, right? They've somehow figured out.
Yeah. There's enough stuff to get it from.
They take a Butte-judge and turn it into energy, and they're good to go. That's how they measure it. Butte-judges.
Yeah.
How many Butte-judges is going to take us to get to Alpha Centauri? Okay, it is. Let's see, Bobby, it's still tied up, right? 5-5. Bob, your pick. Her suit is too tight. Facial hair are superheroes, innocent until proven guilty pleasures, low to mid-brow pop culture, or frame that tune. Karaoke music we play, maybe illegally.
Let's do innocent until proven guilty pleasures.
Innocent until proven guilty pleasures. Within 25 in either direction as of September 30th, 2020, how many episodes of South Park have aired?
Damn, that is tough. Oh, man.
And I want to say within 30 of either direction because I don't want to do the math right now.
Within 30, okay.
Yeah, it's just easier.
Let's see. I'm going to say something like 400 episodes. Maybe let's say 350.
350. Are you sure you don't want to go slightly less than 350?
Sure. Let's say 325.
Hey, brilliant. It's 308.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bobby takes the lead with an assist.
Yeah.
From his father,
that's a half point.
Who's on the bubble. Okay, Billy, innocent of proven guilty pleasures. Here's yours. Within 50 of either direction, as of 6 December 2020, how many episodes of The Simpsons have aired?
You said within 50?
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, add like 7 or 8 years to the South Park.
Yeah, I'm going to say just 400. Okay, I'm gonna say 450. I mean, if I didn't get it, I didn't get it. Whatever, 500.
All right, 693.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
those are
Yeah,
like
it's more
27 episodes, like seasons, aren't they?
yeah, it's like more than the double is how they'd say it in Italy. More than the double. Okay, that puts Bobby ahead by one with an unfair assist. Billy, her suit is too tight. Facial hair of superheroes or frame that tune.
Her suit is too tight.
Okay, in the HBO series Entourage, have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Came out in 1939. The Vincent Chase character stars in a handful of movies, including his dream role playing Pablo Escobar, but his biggest financial hit was playing the leading role in what superhero movie?
Aquaman.
Ties it up. Aquaman ties it up. Okay, Bobby. Portion number 2 in this category. The typical number of eyelashes on a person's upper eyelid ranges from 150 to 200. What's the matter?
Okay.
The bottom eyelid accommodates between 75 and 100 lashes. Do you want to write any of this down? I'll repeat it if you need to. They fall out periodically but are replaced by new ones. Within 15 in either direction, how many days does the typical human eyelash last before falling out?
Okay, that's fair.
Huh. 15 days in either direction.
Yeah, you have a 30-day eyelash window.
Let's say 45 days.
135.
Oh my God, they last a while.
Impressed.
I know, I was surprised.
I feel like I pull those things out like all the time, you know?
Don't do that, man.
I'm not like pulling on them, but just like, you know what I mean? You just run your fingers down them.
You know, they probably had like 25 days left.
You guys keep your fingers away from your eyelashes. Come on. Okay. Coronavirus.
Away from your eyelashes.
Eyelashes, right. Don't touch your eyelashes. Don't touch your eyelashes. Okay, Billy, this is yours. Frame that tune. Name the artist, the tune, and the year it was released. 1 point each. You ready?
Okay.
It's an audio clue. You know what I mean? An illegal audio clue. Meow.
Michael Jackson, Billie Jean.
What did you say?
He's
Michael
trying to think of
Jackson,
the year.
Billie Jean.
Michael Jackson, that's worth 1 point.
Billie Jean, but it's not my love or whatever.
Billie Jean, that's worth 1 point. The year? You want a hint?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, sure.
It wasn't the 1930s.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say just 1985. Yeah.
Okay. 1982.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I would have guessed 1 or 3.
I was going to say 3 first, but that's not. You wouldn't have got it anyway.
Off there. Tell what you do. Don't go around bringing
Yeah, I'm going to say that one is probably illegal.
Okay.
It's the karaoke version. It's not illegal.
Okay.
I was just singing. Okay. Okay. Some would call it singing. Here we go. Bob, this is yours. Name the artist, the tune, the year it was released. Billy got 2 on that one, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
boom, boom. So Billy ends up with 8. Bobby, this is your chance to tie or take the lead. Here you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming this is Bob Dylan.
What did you say?
Hold on.
What did you say?
Oh, God. Damn, I don't know his songs very well at all.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Why can't I place it? I know it, but I don't know it.
Just listen. We'll just leave it on from that.
I can't think of it, man.
Hold on. We haven't gotten to it.
Oh, you know what? I do know it. You're right. Yeah. Well, you can't say it.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not the name of it.
Oh, that's not the name of it? Well, shit, then I don't know.
You're going to get it.
I mean, is it? Oh, I know. You're right. I did get it. It's like a Rolling Stone.
Oh.
Very, very nice.
Man, okay, you're right. Thank you for
Okay, one last. You guys are tied up.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I gotta try to figure out
you're tied up. The year. Now it's the year.
Yeah, I gotta try to figure out the year. Ah, man, that's tough. I'm gonna say 1966.
I'm going to give it to you.
What is it?
1965.
Okay.
But you're going to share that with your brother, so you each have 8.5 points.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go. That's it.
I beat you, Bobby. I won. Oh, you won.
That's it. That's the game show. Tastes a little gamey. Thanks, guys.
Hey, that was fun. That's a good one.
All right. Good work. We're going to call it a tie. Very good.
Okay.
All right, guys. Gina just came in and showed me the clock.
Yeah, I see. 125 here.
What's that?
I say we're at 125 here.
Yep. She told me I've got to be on another podcast. Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
We heard from Meghan and Prince Harry, and they just wanted me to do a little guest spot.
Got you.
Okay, well, don't forget us. Like if you can get a spot for us, I would be really appreciative.
Oh, I wouldn't forget you.
Butte-judge is great, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, there's never been a more important time to listen to each other, because when we hear each other and hear each other's stories, we're reminded how we all are interconnected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I do podcasts, I'm like, hey, these people are actually saying something. Maybe we should listen.
Listen. Yeah. Try to really listen, without distraction. They're not distracted because they don't have any jobs anymore. That's their deal. All right, guys, what you doing today?
Probably more 3D work and stuff, and probably play some video games, watch some
good for you
stuff. I don't know. Listen to her.
You gonna relax today, Bob?
Hopefully.
Good. All right. Okay. I love you guys.
Love you. Thank you.
Proud of you. I hope you don't disown me for my Butte-judging. Don't Butte-judge me. All right. I'm really proud of you guys, and I do learn a lot from you. I'm not kidding. You made me think about Butte-judge, and you broke my heart. But I think you're right. He's not the right guy.
Well,
everyone wants to. I mean, it sucks. Everyone wants there to just be like the perfect person,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I wouldn't want somebody like him to be competent. You might be right, Billy. He might plow over our, some.
He's going to build a train directly into homeless people's houses.
He might. It's
through
possible.
It's through the little historic church at the top of your hill. He's going to build a train through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that. Nothing gets done here. They can barely pave a road. So
fair enough.
All right, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, I love you.
Billy, I love you too. I really do love you guys. I think about you all the time. I can't wait to see you guys like face to face.
Yeah,
I know.
Just a little further to go. Just hang on. Just hang on by your nails there. Don't do anything. I know you guys are well behaved. You don't need to tell me. I mean, I don't need to tell you what to do. You do need to tell me what to do. So, Bob, I will talk to you on Tuesday. Billy, I'll talk to you on Monday, right?
Sounds good, yeah.
Plan? Okay. Perfect. You guys stay safe until then, okay?
All right.
Will do.
Thank you. You guys
Okay,
too.
take care. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you. It's really fun.
Of course, love these.
Love you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.